Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm here with Sean at the Kansas City Zoo. Hello.
Hi.
What do we have back here?
So this is Ricky, one of our black rhinos that is roaming around the exhibit today. We actually have 4, but when Ricky's out here, he's by himself. And he does really well. He's been here for a while. The difference between the white rhinos, which quite a few zoos have, and the black rhinos that you see, it's really not about the coloration, it's about their lips. So the white rhinos, you've done a story on white rhinos before, they have the real flat, squared lip, and the black rhinos actually have a lip that can help them tear leaves and grasses off and feed on. So they originally had the wide-lipped rhino, which are the white rhinos, and that's how they got confused and they started calling them white.
From my previous videos, a mistranslation that led to that.
Right.
And I don't know if he got video of this in the keeper talk earlier, but it's kind of like a prehensile lip. I can see it grab like that piece of apple and lettuce that I believe it was lettuce.
I'm glad you got video of that. It's a perfect example. They're more browsers. The white rhinos are more grazers, so they'll eat the grasses, whereas the black rhinos are usually looking for leaves off of trees and bushes, which again helps when you have that extension on their lips that helps to wrap around the twigs and pull the leaves off towards their mouth.
It kind of acts like a little elephant's trunk. It kind of grabs onto it, just a much smaller scale.
Very much so.
So obviously when they're fully grown, they don't have many, if any predators at all. So when they're younger, what other animals would try to attack them?
Well, not a lot when they're younger either, because you have to remember when they're younger.
They have tough skin too.
They have tough skin, but they also have tough moms that are right beside them usually too. So being a rhino is a pretty big deterrent to anything that's trying to hunt them down. Packs of lions would probably be their biggest threat. Obviously, their biggest threat is man. So. Making sure, unfortunately. But next to that, it would probably be it'd have to be a hungry pack of lions to go after even a younger rhino with mom around.
A last resort.
Right.
Because they have really big horns, and then if they have an even bigger mom next to them, it's not going to work out that well.
Right. You talked about their horns a little bit, and Ricky has a pretty decent sized horn going there, but they will sharpen those up here probably a little bit more than they would in the wild. They can actually get much longer than that, 5 feet long. So they can use those as a pretty big deterrent and a weapon when it comes to other rhinos or other animals that are trying to do them harm.
So people know that rhinos and elephants get poached a lot, and for the rhinos specifically, their horn.
Right.
What exactly is that used for, and why do people want the horns?
You know, it's really unfortunate when you talk about whether it be elephant tusks or rhino horns, specifically rhino horns. They use them for medicinal purposes in the Far East. And a lot of it is based on misnomer, tales about the cure-all or helping them out for other reasons, and really all it's the same type of substance that's in our fingernails. So whether you mix rhino horn with something else, it's not going to do you any good as far as helping your health. It's trying to get that message across to people that have heard these stories over and over again, generations after generation. It becomes culture, and getting rid of that misnomer is very hard to do.
So, are these rhinos part of an SSP program? They
are. In fact, we have 2 that aren't out here today that are hopefully going to be breeding sometime soon. They've been together and we've seen breeding. No successes yet though. So we hope that they'll be proven here soon, and hopefully we'll have a calf on the ground the next year or so.
And obviously, rhinos in general are highly endangered.
Yeah, and it all depends on the subspecies too. These guys aren't the most endangered of the rhino subpopulations, but they are also the spokesperson for the rest of the animals that are out there. We call them ambassadors for their wild brethren. Certainly rhinos in general, and you talked about elephants, and a lot of different animals that are found in the African areas are getting poached, are getting taken out. The bushmeat epidemic is a problem, but you also have to look at it from a standpoint of some of these African villagers who are just trying to make a living, just trying to feed their families. So you try to work out plans that you can't have a successful conservation plan without talking about how it's going to impact the people that live there too. You can't just say, don't hunt the rhinos, or don't hunt the elephants, or don't hunt the zebras.
There's a lot more problems involved.
You have to give them resources to do something else, to help them with their families, and to help feed their families, and make sure that they have an alternative source of income.
And also there's a school program here at the zoo that kind of teaches students different like situations, like someone has to feed their family, so do they poach an animal for money, or do they starve? You have to deal with those problems before you can eventually get to saving the animal's life.
Right. I think you can do both simultaneously, but you certainly can't just say, don't do this, without giving alternatives. So, like I said, the human impact is always going to be there unless you can give an alternative resource to them.
And what other organizations are helping out with the black rhinos?
Oh, there are all sorts. We're involved with a program called Black Mambas. It's the only female, all-female troop that's over in South Africa that helps to ensure the safety of not only the rhinos, but everything within those parks. We've actually sent some keepers over there, and we've supplied some funds. They've gotten many awards for it. We had a visitor from the Black Mambas come over and talk to us about their impact and how proud. Again, you go back to the community. Mm-hmm. They're proud of the work that they do, and they pass this information along to the people that they live with. They have another educational program within their communities that they call the Bush Babies, and they pass this information along to the children. And you talk about how important conservation is, but getting that message across to the next generation so that they know that from an early childhood stage, they learn that, and then that, again, is their belief as they continue to grow, and then they hopefully pass that on to the next generation. So hitting on a few things, we give them supplies that they need to do their job, and also money that they use to feed them and their families.
Yes. Again, if they don't have alternative source of income, they're going to lead back to the wildlife, and that's obviously bad for them.
Right. International Rhino Foundation is another worldwide fund that helps with the protection of rhinos, whether it be black or white rhinos. And some of it goes to research, some of it goes to protection of land, some of it goes to funding the security of those areas. So it really just depends on what the need of the surrounding areas are. So it's another great fund that goes towards a good cause.
So how can people at home help out with the rhino epidemic?
Well, the easiest way is that multiple zoos like ourselves have funds that go directly towards conservation for rhinos. So you can certainly go onto our webpage and donate to our conservation efforts, and we'd be happy to put that towards conservation. And again, there are other zoos that do the same thing. The International Rhino Foundation, you can look up more information about the Black Mambas to see more of what I was talking about. I guarantee you that you'll be interested once you start reading about it, because it's a great story.
Because for the Keeper Talk, they mentioned the Black Mambas, and I wanted to learn more about that, so I'm definitely going to do some more research on that later.
Great.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about the black rhino and the black rhino conservation.
You're welcome.
And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram, @Cole Shirk. As always, I'll see you next week.